5, 4, 3, 2.
And good evening. I am preparing for tonight's show, so I'm only going to be a very few moments. Thank you for the great participation that we had on last night. The biggest story in the country right now is the murder of George Floyd by former officer Derek Chauvin, some kind of in, um, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Excuse me. Those of you who are watchers of my page and also my Instagram page, I gave the address for not only him, but I gave the address for the Asian officer. This evening's program, I am going to take the tape of the show and send it to Mike Freeman, the District Attorney General in that area. It is not enough that these officers were fired on yesterday, even though I can appreciate the mayor of the city and the police. Excuse me, I was eating some Fritos before I started taping. For firing. Okay, I'm through.
Yes, I'm the drink.
Uh,
Yes, I'm the drink.
for firing these officers. These Cheetos are the best I done had. I just had a crazy. I went back to my childhood years and just wanted me some Fritos. Okay. But I will be taping this evening's program, hopefully with your responses on it, to send to Mr. Mike Freeman again, who is the district attorney for the Minneapolis, Minnesota area. They need to be arrested. Not only arrested, but charged with capital murder. The other officers, other than Derek Chauvin, are complicit in his death. Because they had the opportunity to say, man, that's enough. Hey, man, you're breaking the law. You're violating the guidelines. But we found out that Derek Chauvin, and that's Chauvin, that you violated this man's rights. And I want to see them charged with murder. So this evening's show, with your participation in it, your voice, your cries for justice, after tonight's show, I'm going to package it and send it to the district attorney. Oh, guess I got something in the wrong pipe. It be like that sometimes. You eating something that gets down in the wrong pipe. But that's what tonight's show is going to be about. It's going to be very wrong. It's going to be very blunt. I've also found some footage that would show that at no time was Mr. Floyd aggressive. At no time did he resist arrest. When I look at that tape, I'm very much aware that when the first responders arrived, George Floyd was already dead. He was already dead. That tape is about I guess 9, almost 10 minutes long. And for at least 7 minutes of that tape, the knee of this former police officer was on the throat, on the neck of George Floyd. He was murdered right in our very presence. His life was taken. Now the lives of these officers should be taken. And when I say taken, I mean legally. By way of whatever the form of capital murder is in the state of Minnesota. We cannot allow, as blacks in this country, we cannot allow these issues of police violence to continue in this country. Legislation and laws must change. We saw on the pictures that this police officer is a follower of President Trump. We saw him with his hat on. Let's make America white again. We can see him behind Donald Trump at a rally in Minneapolis. We can see him shaking the hand of Donald. Donald Trump has not come out and made any statement about this particular tragedy. And I wonder why. Is it because he condones the activity of this individual, of groups of individuals who think like this? Does he support white supremacy? That was another guy in Kentucky by the name of, I believe his name was Sean something. Let me find it. Yeah, Sean Baker Sr., who owns Baker Lawn Care, located at 8205 Winchester Road, not in Memphis, but Clay City, Kentucky. And his caption, his Facebook caption said, "Awesome. One less piece of shit in the world. Hope it didn't breathe. It was glorious to watch." As I stated to you yesterday, that there are some white folk that done lost their motherfucking minds. There is a segment of white folk, and I'm not going to say all white folk, but there is a segment of white folk that would love to take black folk back 100 years. There's a segment of white folk that's saying, let's take them back to Africa. Now, I ain't never been to Africa. Okay? So I ain't got no plans of going unless I'm going first class on a jet and I'm going over there on business. I ain't going to go on safari because y'all might think I'm one of the krillers, the white people's over there. Nope, ain't going. But look, it's time for black folk to stand up. So I invite you, the number is on the screen, 901-231-9239. I'm inviting you when I go on the air at CussingPastorTV.com. CussingPastorTV.com. I'm inviting you, and if you want to identify yourself, hey, I'm Mary Ann from Chicago, and I think they some dirty motherfuckers, and them motherfuckers need they motherfucking ass kicked. Don't you think that's the motherfucking truth? And I'm going to say, yes, ma'am. And you're going to be on this tape that I am going to send to Mike Freeman, the District Attorney General for that particular area. So I'm inviting you to join me 7 p.m. Central Time on my subscription-based network, CussingPastorTV.com. I invite you right now. It's only $5. Okay. only $5 for a whole month of viewing my shows. $50 for the whole year. And as we're adding other programming, in fact, Dale has a program that comes on at 5 o'clock on Wednesday afternoons. Look, and she's going to be talking about what is it? What's the title of the Dale?
Parental versus peer pressure.
Parental versus peer pressure. So join Dale at 5 o'clock for that particular program. But it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to wake up. Let me say that again. It's time for us to wake up. We are at war, whether you want to realize it, whether you want to accept it or not. We, and especially black men in this country, we are at war. So join me, if you will, at 7 p.m. Let me go in here and see if there's any comments on here. I'm going to also be showing another tape. Naturally, I will show the tape of the 10 minutes, but I'm going to show also a tape where he was stopped in his car, taken out of his vehicle by officers, led around to the police vehicle, and the surveillance camera does not show what happens at that particular point. But he was already in handcuffs. When they took him out of his vehicle, he was placed in handcuffs. There was no way for him to resist. When he was placed in the handcuffs, he did not resist. Two officers, not the officer that put his knee across his throat, was not even present at that point. But two other officers stopped his vehicle. There was someone else in the vehicle with him. They got him out of the vehicle. They handcuffed him at the door, led him over to the sidewalk to a building, then placed him, took him around the back of their police vehicle. We cannot see what happens at that point. But you will see on that tape where 4 police officers at one point were on top of him. 4 of the officers were at one point on top of him. The biggest issue in this is fuck a thin blue line, fuck this code of silence that law enforcement officers want to have. If it's about protecting and serving, it's not about bullying and killing. And what we saw, what the world has now seen, is nothing but pure, unadulterated murder. I'm going to be giving you the telephone number to Mr. Mike Freeman's office. And I've had several people tell me because I placed it on the site earlier today that they have not been able to get through. I'm going to get the email for you as well so that you can email and let us know just how, yeah, Tanisha, I got it, thank you. Just how you feel. The tape of the show tonight will be submitted overnight to his office. And again, there is footage before the footage of him being placed on the ground that shows no resistance. The question still comes, what happened other than racism, other than the hatred that a white man had for a black man What else could have placed 46-year-old George Floyd on the ground? Someone says it was a public hanging. Yeah, it was a lynching. It was a lynching of a black man by a white bigot. Uh, it's disturbing because any black man in America can fall victim. I don't give a damn if you're a talk show host, business owner. The racist white bigot don't give a shit. Let me tell you something. The biggest fear that the white man has is a strong black man. It bothers him. It intimidates him. We are dominating in every field. We even dominate when we take their white woman. I don't know why you want them, but that's your business. We cannot allow this tragedy to go unspoken of. I urge members of clergy to speak up. Use your pulpits as a battering ram to encourage the men in your church. I'm starting off my boys' mentoring all over again. We had not used it since we moved to our new location because of the pandemic and not being able to bring people in. But next Saturday, the 6th, I call it the war room. We're going to be dealing with our young men and even men if it becomes necessary by way of Cussing Pastor TV.com. Demon Hunt says, Demon, that man had 3 people on his back while in handcuffs, and one had his knee on his neck, and he died on Facebook Live. Yeah, he did. And did you see how they handled him? Did you see that? Did you see how when the first responders got there, they just handled him roughly? But he was lifeless. He was dead right there on the scene. Right there on the scene, he was dead. He was murdered before our eyes. He was lynched right there before our eyes. Now, I've seen all of the demonstrating, all of the rock throwing. The streets of Minneapolis was full yesterday. But let me tell you something. And I understand your anger. But the white folk don't give a fuck about you protesting and throwing rocks. If you really want to get white folks' attention in Minneapolis, hold your money. Let white businesses in that area, let them know we ain't spending not one black dollar in this city until justice is done, until an arrest and a charge is made. Until then, we're holding our black dollars. That's what white folk understand. Again, they don't give a fuck about you marching. They don't give a fuck about you throwing a rock. But when you throw an economic rock, when you tell white folk we're not going to spend our money with you, unless you as decent thinking white folk, we don't give a fuck even if you're decent thinking. You tell the district attorney general that charges should be made. We must fight. And I call for every black journalist that's free I'm talking about they have their own shelters. Because if you are working as a news agent for many of these companies, there's certain things, if you're going to keep your job, you can't say when you go on camera or you're in front of a radio mic. But I don't give a fuck. This is mine. I'm not on that Comcast channel. And I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck what white folk think. I don't give a fuck what you hinted head, water carrying Negroes think. I'm going to tell it just like it is. Don't throw another rock unless it's a rock of economics. Tell the white folk, let the white folk know we holding our money until you hold this police officer and the other three, until you hold them responsible. Yes, they're responsible. Yes, they didn't stop that racist, low down, dirty motherfucker from killing that man. Yes, you're complicit in his murder. You're complicit in his lynching. Because see, the white man thinks that we get troubled for a moment. We'll throw a rock. We'll turn a car over. Then we'll go to the house and wait till the next time. There should not be another next time. We got to do what has to be done. And it's going to take blacks all over this country. It's going to take decent thinking people all over this country. And again, I understand your anger, but let's channel that anger in the right direction. And the right direction is to economically tell them, we are not going to spend $1 in your grocery stores, your service stations, nowhere until Mike Freeman, the district attorney general of that area, have those low down individuals arrested and charged. I don't want something to wrap in no goddamn Huntsville, Alabama. Motherfucker, this ain't time you call me. I'm talking now. Call on the show. Join me at 7 p.m. Central Time. Maybe 6 in your area, maybe 8 o'clock in your area. But join me. Go to, put the website up there. Go now, if you have not subscribed, if you're not a subscriber. Ain't but $5, that's for a whole month. Of whatever it is I do for a whole month, $5. Or $50 for the entirety of the year. Go to www.cussingpastortv.com. Demond Hunt, yeah. Man, you that upset, then make your statements on the show tonight. 7 p.m. As I continue from last night, have white folk lost their mind? That's the conversation. Pastor, can you pay month to month? Baby, we ain't paying but $5. That's the way you get it, from month to month. Okay. They'll take it off your little card. And I'm finding so many folks don't even have $5 on their card, but it comes around time again. But that is what it is. We live in hard times, and some of us having harder times than others. Okay, I got to go get my truck. My truck in the shop. I got to go get my truck so I can come back to the studio and do this. Beverly Dowdy, keeping our money is the only way to evoke change. They don't care about margin duty. They expect us to do that. And you're absolutely correct. White folks don't give a fuck about you, Mom. They don't give a damn about your kumbayas, we shall overcome songs. They don't give a shit about that. Not at all. They care nothing about that. But they care about your money. And those of you in Minneapolis, after this that has happened with this Asian, how in the fuck y'all gonna go get your nose, your toes, what did I say, your toes done at these Asian shops? How you gonna get your nails done in the Asian community? I've got a picture of his house. This Asian lives in a 2-story house there in Minneapolis. Two-story house in Minneapolis. How are you going to support their community when one of theirs in the community is a lyncher, is a murderer? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to keep the information going. We must fight. There is a war. Should nobody be going to no damn Asians getting your toes done, getting your nails done. Fuck it, go back to what y'all used to do. Leaf press on nails. Y'all remember leaf press on nails. Or find you a black business that can put some weave in your hair. Quit buying your weave from them right now. Find you somebody black. There is a war among us and going on. And we're sleeping. We're sitting on the wayside, allowing the enemy to eat away at us. Racism is alive and very much well in this country. White folk don't give a shit no more. They ain't even trying to hide it no more. They ain't trying to cover it up. Fuck what a nigga think. Because they feel that nothing is going to happen. They feel that we're not going to fight against them. They feel that we'll get excited for a moment, then we ain't going to say shit else about what's going on. All right. Go to Cussing Pastor TV. Ain't for $5. God damn. I don't want to pay him. Damn. You don't want this information. You pay the white folk. You go to Comcast. You pay them. I put their addresses up and their phone numbers. They probably changed the phone numbers by now. You think they didn't change the phone numbers? I put the gentleman's phone number and his address. I put the murderer, his address. Hell, I got pictures of the house. Ain't nobody else gonna do that. And I haven't put the pictures of the houses up there, but I put the addresses out there. Teresa already got that. Thank you. But y'all let me do my goddamn job. That's your part. Okay. We are going to fight this. Let's join together. Let's do what we need to do. All right. Let me go get the purple truck. And thank you. I'll see you all at 7 p.m. Go now to CussingPastorTV.com and subscribe. I'll see you at 7. We up